class. Today we will be working gently onto our core. So we'll be doing a flow class, but exploring different posture where you can really engage that core and working on it. As usual, I recommend for you to have, or I encourage you to have a bottle of water and a block. If you don't have a block, you can use stack books or anything that can bring any more support into those postures. So we will start by laying in a comfortable position onto your back in Shavasana. Bringing your feet about mat distance apart or wider, and then naturally letting your feet fall onto their sides. Your palms and arms are facing the skies, onto your side or slightly away. And if this position doesn't feel comfortable for your lower back, try to bend your knees and plant the sole of your feet mat distance apart, letting your knees fall into center, tenting. Or perhaps today you would like to lay in a fetal position onto your right or left side. This is completely up to you. Remember that this is your practice, so it's important that you listen to the cues of your body and that you take the most comfortable position for the opening Shavasana. If you are onto your back, slightly lift your chest up and tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. And if you feel comfortable to do so, I invite you to softly close your eyes or to soften your gaze. And we'll be starting first by relaxing each part of our body, starting with the muscles of your face and the muscles of your jaw. Then relaxing your neck, and your shoulders are softened and heavy into your mat. Relaxing the muscles of your upper back and chest. Relaxing the muscles of your mid-back and rib cage. Continuing with the muscles of your lower back, abdomen and core are softened with each breath that you take. And then relaxing the muscles of your glutes, hips, the muscles of your legs, feet, and relaxing the muscles of your arms and hands. And just taking here a moment to letting go of all thoughts, expectations, and of anything that doesn't serve you for this class. Perhaps letting your thoughts float around you, contemplate them, but allowing them to drift away, not holding on to them. You came today to practice onto your mat. This is the time that is just for you. I encourage you to be really present and in the moment for the next 60 minutes. Feeling the sensation, focusing on your practice, and leaving all external thoughts outside of your mat. And perhaps today you would like to dedicate your practice to a loved one, or maybe you would like to set an intention for your practice. This could be a simple word, or it could be a positive statement. And once you have chosen, please repeat it 3 times in your mind. taking a deep inhale through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Good. One more deep inhale through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And slowly start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Inhaling to a count of 3 or 4, and then exhaling to the same count. So all together, taking a deep inhale to 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4, and then exhaling to the same count, 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4. Again, taking a deep inhale to 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4, and exhaling to 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4. Good. Inhaling to 3 or 4, and then exhaling to the same count. Keeping on going. This breathing technique, Samadhi pranayama, or equal part breath, is not only there, here, and available for you today. If you are finding yourself in a little more challenging posture, coming back to your breath and counting your breath can help you go through. Or if you find that your mind is wandering around, bringing your mind back to your breath, and again counting your breath. And slowly starting to bring your awareness back into the space of the room where you are. Perhaps hearing all those little noises, being aware of the lights, and then turning your awareness back into your body by slowly wiggling your fingers and your toes, perhaps circling your wrists and ankles. Maybe you'd like to bend your elbows and your knees. And if it's okay, on your neck, perhaps you would like to slowly turn your head from side to side. And then extending both of your legs long onto your mat. The sole of your feet are reaching for the front of your mat. Sweeping your hands overhead, interlacing your fingers, and give yourself a big body stretch here. Good. Perhaps stretching onto your right or left side. Perhaps yawning feels good as well. Maybe noticing if your lower back is lifting off the mat here. And then on your next exhale, drawing both knees onto your chest, hugging both knees nice and tight, and rolling from side to side or making circles with your knees. Just massaging your lower back or lumbar spine here. Knees can be together or knees can come wide. This is totally up to you. It will depend on the different sensation into your hips here. And I will start a little bit of music for you. And then keeping your right knee onto your chest and extending that left leg long onto your mat. Both of your feet are flexed, toes are pointing towards the sky. On every inhale, really pressing through that left heel so it reaches the front of your mat. On every exhale, drawing that right knee just a bit closer to your chest. And again, if this is a bit uncomfortable, perhaps bending the left knee and planting the sole of your left foot onto your mat. And again, you can choose to stay here or you can choose to move with your breath. On every inhale, drawing the right knee towards your right side, opening your hip. On every exhale, bringing it back to center. Just massaging your inner hip crease here on the right side. Good, and left knee comes back onto the chest to meet the right knee. Hugging those knees nice and tight, rolling from side to side and making circles. And then keeping that left knee onto your chest, and then extending that right leg long onto your mat. Again, both feet are flexed, toes are pointing towards the sky. On every inhale, really pushing through that right heel so it reaches the front of your mat. And on every exhale, drawing that left knee just a bit closer towards your chest. Perhaps this time feeling an opening onto your right hip and right quad. Maybe a little compression onto your left hip. And you can choose to stay here, or you can choose to add a little movement here. On every inhale, drawing the left knee onto your left side, opening your hip. On every exhale, bringing it back to center. Massaging the inner hip crease on the second side. Good. And then right knee comes back onto the chest. Again, both knees nice and tight, rolling from side to side or making circles. And then starting to move through a little bit of core here, gently. So extending both of your feet towards the sky. Feet are flexed or pointing totally up to you. Interlacing your fingers, releasing the pointy fingers, and then extending those arms in front of you, like you're reaching for the sky. And then taking an inhale here, and on your exhale, trying to reach your big toes. Inhale, coming back down. Exhaling, trying to reach your left pinky toe. Exhaling, coming back down. Inhaling, reaching your right pinky toe. And exhaling, coming down. Good. One more time, taking an inhale. Exhaling, reaching your big toes. Inhaling, coming down. Exhaling, reaching your left pinky toe. Inhaling, coming down. Exhaling, reaching your right pinky toe. Inhaling, coming down. Good. One last round. Exhaling, middle. Inhale, down. Exhaling, your left pinky toe. Inhale, down. Exhaling, right pinky toe. Inhale, down. Good. And drawing both knees onto your chest. Hugging both knees nice and tight. Rolling from side to side. Two options for you here. You can either roll onto your right or left side and cushion yourself into a seated position. Or you can roll up and down your spine until you come to a seated position. Once you're here, you can either swing your legs out to the sides or roll over top of your shins to come to a tabletop position. Now at tabletop, you want your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we'll move through some tabletop crunches. So on your extending the right leg behind you, flexing at the ankle and lifting that foot off the mat. Really engaging that core. Coming onto your left fingertips and then extending that left arm in front of you. Good. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking an inhale and exhale, crunching knee to your elbow. Inhaling, extend. Exhaling, crunch. Good. 3 more times. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. One last time. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, reaching with your hand from the front of your mat. Heel for the back of your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. hand and knee back onto your mat. Good, moving through the second side. Always using and engaging that core here. So extending that left leg long behind you, flexing at the foot and lifting that foot off your mat. Coming onto your right fingertips. And then extending that right arm in front of you. Reaching for the front and the back of your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking an inhale and exhale, crunching knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Good. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Reaching for the front and the back of your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand and knee back onto your mat. Good. So keeping your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We'll be moving through some cats and cows. On your inhale, dropping your belly towards the mat. Gaze and tailbone go up. Exhaling, belly back in, running through your shoulders and your spine. Gaze and tailbone down. Inhaling, dropping your belly towards the mat. Gaze and tailbone up. Exhaling, belly back in, running through your shoulders and your spine. Gaze and tailbone down. Good. 4 more rounds of full breath on your own pace. After your fourth round, coming back to a neutral spine or flat back. Bringing your knees mat distance apart, big toes to touch. Sitting back onto your heels and walking your hands towards the front of your mat. Letting your forehead rest heavily onto your mat here. I will be lifting up my head so you guys can hear me. But if your forehead doesn't quite make it there, stacking your hands underneath it, or making fists with your hands and stacking it underneath your forehead. Well, this is a great posture to come back to if you need to take a break or if you need to come back to your breath. Taking a big inhale here and exhaling, let it go. Good, 1 more deep inhale and exhaling. Fingertips are reaching for the front of your mat, and on your next inhale, shifting your weight forward back into a tabletop. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Spreading your fingers nice and wide. Really engaging that core. Tucking your toes here behind you and hovering your knees about 4 to 5 inches off your mat here. Really engaging the core. Good. Now you can stay here or you can add a little movement to it by dropping your knees to a hover 1 inch and coming back up. Good. Dropping, back up. Good. 3 more times. Second and third. And then bring your hips all the way up and back into downward facing dog. Good. Now you can walk the dog a little bit by bringing one heel after the other onto your mat. Coming high to the balls of your feet, bending your knees and bringing your torso closer to your thighs, and then attempting to straighten your legs here. Good. Moving through a modified flow first. On your next inhale, shifting your weight forward into plank, and lowering your knees onto your mat and tucking your toes. Really engaging that core, pressing your pelvis towards the mat. On your next exhale, lowering to chaturanga, elbows to a 90, and then chest and belly reaches the mat at the same time. On your next inhale, pressing through the shoelace part of your feet, engaging your glutes and the muscles of your lower back, lifting your chest up, bringing your shoulder blades back together, gaze down for a cobra. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, pressing through your hands to come back to a tabletop position, tapping your toes, lifting your seat up into downward facing dog. Good. Your choice to stay with a modified flow or to start moving through a full flow. On your next inhale, shifting your weight forward into plank. Wrist underneath your shoulders, toes underneath your heels. You should be one straight line from the heels to the crown of your head. Everything is engaged. Core, legs, arm, back. Shifting your weight forward into your toes. Exhaling, lowering down to chaturanga, elbows to a 90 degree. And tucking your toes. Inhaling, pressing to your hands to lift your chest up. Upward facing dog. Exhaling, pushing back to downward facing dog. Good. And on your next inhale, gaze goes to the top of your mat. Exhaling, step or walk in between your hands into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Hands on your thighs or shins. Back is parallel to your mat. Core is engaged. Shoulder blades are back together. Exhaling, forward folding. Inhaling, coming all the way up, fingertips to the sky. And exhaling, hands come down through heart center. Hands onto your sides. Good. So we will be moving through a stem-cell activation, BRFM, a modified version of it. I encourage you to use a block and place it in between your inner thighs and knees to go into the next posture, chair pose. If you don't have a block, that's fine. You can keep your feet hip distance apart or together. Just making sure that your knees are aligned at all times during this posture. Good. And bringing your hands at heart center. On your next inhale, sitting low into a chair. Now, really bringing your weight back into your heels by lifting your toes up if that's available to you. Really engage in that core. Back is as straight as possible and slightly tilting your pelvis forward. Hands can come at heart center, pushing one against the other and bringing your shoulder blades back together. If no shoulders injuries, fingertips to the sky. And staying here for 3 breaths. On every inhale, lengthening your spine. Every exhale, sinking just a bit deeper into your posture. Firing those squats. Good, and taking an inhale all together. And exhaling, forward folding. If you do have a block, removing it. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Bending your knees, planting your hands into your mat and stepping back into plank. Setting up that plank right away. There is a little twist. So your options to stay here, options to move into a low side plank by coming onto your right forearm and moving onto your right side or rolling onto the right side. Left hand onto your left hip, really keeping that right hip up and then fingertips to the sky. Again, choice to stay here or to move to a little core by adding movement. And bringing that left hand underneath your right side. Inhale, extend. Exhaling, hand underneath your right side. Inhale, extend. Good, 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, good. And coming back into a high plank or modified plank for your flow. Shifting your weight forward. Exhaling, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhaling to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling for downward facing dog. Good. And on your next inhale, lifting your right leg high behind you. Exhaling, stepping that foot in between your hands. Front knee comes over top of your ankle, wiggling your back toes all the way back. Inhaling, lifting your chest up. Hands come at heart center, or hands can come towards the sky. 3 breaths. Back leg is strong and spread your hips towards the front of your mat here. Good, all together. Inhaling, reaching for the sky. And exhaling, hands to either side of your front foot and stepping back into plank. And again, setting up that plank right away here. Everything is strong. And your choice to stay here or to come on a low plank on your left side. Onto your left forearm, rolling onto your left side and right hand onto your right hip. Lifting up that left hip here, fingertips to the sky. And again, your choice to stay here or to add movement. And on your exhale, right hand underneath your left side, inhale, extend.
Exhale. Inhale. Good. 3 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale from the sun. Exhale. Inhale. And coming back through a flow or modified flow into high plank. Your choice. Shifting your weight forward. Exhaling, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhaling to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Good. And on your next inhale, lifting your left leg high behind you. Exhaling, stepping that foot in between your hands. Front knee over top of your ankle. Wiggling your back toes all the way back until it's stuck underneath your heel. On your next inhale, lifting your chest up. Again, hands at heart center or towards the sky. Your choice. The back leg is strong. Squaring your hips towards the front of your mat. And 3 breaths. Good, all together. Inhaling, reaching for the sky. Exhaling, hands to either side of your front foot and stepping back into plank. Now here again, setting up that plank here. Everything is strong. You can go into a modified plank too. That's totally your choice. And then you can either choose to stay there or to come onto your right forearm, left forearm, and then pushing back on your right hand, left hand. Good. And then left forearm, left hand, right hand. Good. Moving through a flow. Shifting your weight forward. Exhaling, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhaling to cobra or upward facing dog. And pushing back to downward facing dog. Awesome. And then bring your knees onto your mat. And taking a sip of water. Once you're ready, coming back into downward facing dog. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video and to come back after. But if you're ready, let's move into downward facing dog. Good. So here we'll be starting to move through a dancing dog and a slow one. So you can do this movement from downward facing dog or from tabletop. Totally up to you. Remember to really engage your core. But the cues are the same. So, tabletop or downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lifting your right leg high behind you. And exhaling, bringing that right knee to your right elbow. Option to stay here, to tap your knee onto your mat. Come back up, inhaling, extend. Exhaling, right knee to your nose. Option to stay here, tap, come back up. Inhaling, extend. Exhale, right knee to your left elbow. Option to stay here. Tap, up, inhaling, extend. Good. Exhaling, right knee to your nose. Option to stay here. To tap, coming back up. Inhaling, extend. Good, last one. Exhaling, right knee to your right elbow. Option to stay here. Tap, coming back up, inhaling, extend. Good. And on your next exhale, stepping that foot in between your hands. Front knee comes over top of your ankle. Back foot to your 45-degree angle or parallel to the shoulder of your mat. Inhaling, lifting your chest up into warrior 2. Now here, making sure that your front foot is more or less coming to the midsection of your back foot. From knee over top of your ankle and moving more towards the pinky side of your foot. Shoulders over top of your hips. Core is engaged. Arms are engaged. If it's okay on your neck, gaze can come over top of your front hand. Making sure you can always see that big toe. If you can't, crawl your foot further. Two more breaths here. Good. And then bringing your right forearm onto your right thigh, left hand onto your left hip, opening your chest. Once your chest is open and shoulders are stacked, extending those left fingertips towards the sky or overhead. If that doesn't feel good for your shoulder, play the guitar and come the other way around, but keeping that left shoulder towards the back. Now right forearm, making sure that you can always hover that right forearm of your thighs. And you can stay here if you want to work onto your core, extending those right fingertips towards the front of your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, using your core to come back to warrior 2 and sinking into your posture. Crawling that foot a little further. Okay, and bringing your hands onto your hips, extending that front leg, turning that front foot so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. On your inhale, lengthening your spine. Exhaling, hinging at your hips, and forward folding to come parallel to your mat here. Now, if you're like me and you're hyperextending those knees, give it a soft bend. Bring your weight more into your toes than into your heels. Engaging that core. Hands can stay onto your hips or can come in front of you. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing your hands back onto your hips if they were extended and using your core to come back up. Slowly. Good. Then heel toeing your toes. Coming towards the front of your mat. In Tadasana, and on your inhale, sweeping your hands overhead, and exhaling, hinging at your hips and forward folding. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold, bending your knees, bending your hands into your mat, and stepping back into plank. Full or modified, your choice. Shifting your weight forward, exhaling, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhaling to cobra or upward facing dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. Good, and on your next inhale, lifting your left leg high behind you. Exhaling, moving through dancing dog. So again, from downward facing dog or from tabletop. Left knee to your left elbow. Option to stay here. Tap, coming back up. Inhaling, extend. Exhaling, left knee to your nose. Option to stay here. Tap, coming back up. Inhaling, extend. Good. Left knee to your right elbow on your exhale. Option to stay here. Tap, coming back up. Inhaling, extend. Good. Left knee to your nose on your next exhale. Option to stay here. Tap, coming back up. Inhaling, extend. Good. Last one. Left knee on your exhale to your left elbow. Option to stay here. Tap, coming back up. Inhaling, extend. And on your next exhale, stepping that foot in between your hands. Front knee over top of your ankle. Back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Inhaling, lifting your chest up to warrior 2. Good. Now again, setting up. Front foot intersect more or less the arch of your back foot. Front knee over top of your ankle, moving more towards the pinky side of your foot. Open your chest. Shoulders over top of your hips. Core engaged, arm engaged. Thighs are engaged and trying to turn upwards here. On every inhale, lengthening that spine, and every exhale, sinking your hips just a bit deeper. Making sure you can always see that big toe. If you can't, crawl your foot further. 2 more breaths. Good. And then left forearm onto your left thigh, right hand onto your right hip, opening your chest and stacking your shoulders, making sure you can hover that left forearm, using your core to hold you. And then when your shoulders are stacked, extending those right fingertips towards the sky or overhead, or maybe playing the guitar if that doesn't feel good on your right shoulder. But keeping that shoulder towards the back here. Good. You can choose to stay here, or if you would like to work onto your core on this side, extending the left fingertips towards the front of your mat. for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, using your core to come back to warrior 2 and sinking into your posture. Good. And then hands onto your hips, extending that front leg, turning that foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. On your inhale, lengthening your spine. And exhale, hinging at the hips and forward folding. Good, coming parallel to your mat. Again, giving a soft bend into your knees here if you're hyperextending your knees, and bringing your weight more into your toes than into your heels. Engage in that core. Spine is nice and long. Hands can stay on your hips or towards your front. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come back onto your hips if they're not already there, and slowly engaging your core and lifting your chest up. Good. And then heel toeing those toes or those feet and coming towards your front of your mat. On your inhale, fingertips to the sky, exhale, hinging at the hips and forward folding. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Bend your knees, planting your hands into your mat and stepping back into plank. Full or modified, your choice. Shifting your weight forward. Exhaling, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhaling to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, pushing back to downward facing dog. Good. Walking the dog a little bit. And then bringing your knees onto your mat for a little water break. So again, option to stay in downward facing dog. You can take another flow or take a sip of water. Totally up to you. When you're ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Good. So let's come back to downward facing dog. If you need more time, feel free again to pause the video and come back to it after. And otherwise, here we are in downward facing dog. So maybe moving a little bit into your dog. Good. And then coming back to stillness and lowering into your forearm, into dolphin. Good. So you can choose to stay here if you want to add a little bit of movement, shifting your weight forward into a low plank. Inhaling, coming back up. Good. Exhaling, coming to a low plank. Inhaling, coming back up. Really engaging every muscle. Exhaling, inhaling. Good. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. This is a great exercise to gain strength into your arms and shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Awesome. And coming back into your downward facing dog onto your hands. Good. And then walking your hands to your feet into a forward fold. Good. Walking your hands back into a plank this time. Full or modified, your choice. Now option to stay here. Option to come onto your right forearm, left forearm, pushing back onto your right hand, left hand, and walking your hands back to your feet. Now taking the time when you're doing this exercise, if you need to pause the video, please do so, and then coming back to it. Or if you want to visualize before doing the exercise, please do so. Good. So on your next inhale, again, walking your hands to your plank or modified plank. Option to stay here or bringing your right knee to your right elbow. Inhaling, extend. Exhaling, left knee to your left elbow. Inhaling, extend. And walking your hands back to your feet. Into a forward fold. Good. Taking the time here for you, walking your hands once again into a plank. Again, option to stay here or modified plank, or to lower onto your left forearm, right forearm, coming back onto your left hand, right hand, and then walking your hands back to your feet. Good. Taking the time, and one last time, walking your hands into plank. Good. On modified plank, option to stay here, option to bring your left knee to your left elbow. Inhaling, extend. Right heel to your right elbow. Inhaling, extend. And slowly walking your hands back to your feet. Good. And this time we will be walking your hands into a plank or modified plank, but then we'll be moving through a flow. So on your next inhale, walking your hands into plank or modified plank. If you want to skip the flow, you can move back into downward facing dog. If you are coming with me, shifting your weight forward, exhaling, lowering down to chaturanga, inhaling to cobra or upward facing dog, and exhaling, passing back to downward facing dog. Good. And on your next inhale, gaze goes to the top of your mat. Exhaling, step or walk to a seated position and take a sip of water. If you did it, yay! Awesome. Good. Our next posture, we'll be moving into a boat pose. So bending your knees in front of you. Back is as straight as possible, core engage. Hands can come behind your hamstrings, onto your mat, or in front of you. Arms engaged. And then tilting back, lifting your heel off your mat. Shins are parallel to your mat. Core is engaged, back is as straight as possible. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring your feet back onto your mat. Hugging your knees into your chest, into a low ball. Good. And one more time. Core is engaged. Back is as straight as possible, and arms and hands wherever it feels comfortable for you. And tilting back, lifting your heels off your mat, shins parallel to your mat. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bringing your knees, hugging them into your chest. Good. And one more time. So this time you can either stay still or you can come with me and add a little movement. So engaging that core, back is as straight, arm wherever feels comfortable for you. Tilting back, lifting your heels off your mat, shins parallel to your mat. Core engaged, and again your choice to stay here or your choice to add a little movement and come with me. And on your inhale, extending your legs and your body, exhaling, coming back up. Inhaling, exhale, core is strong. Inhale, exhale, good, 2 more times. Exhale, last inhale. And last exhale, bringing your knees into your chest. Awesome. Good. And extending both of your legs long onto your mat. Feet or toes are pointing towards the sky. Back is as straight as possible. And on your inhale, lifting your fingers towards the sky. Exhaling, hinging at your hips. And forward folding. Now hands can come onto your shins, ankle, feet, mat, wherever it feels comfortable for you. Just making sure that you're trying to keep a straight back. On your inhale, lengthening the spine, and on your exhale, bringing your chest a bit closer to your thighs. Now, if you need a bit more, you can place a block or anything for more support behind the feet, and trying to grab the block. lengthening that spine. Every exhale, bringing your chest just a bit closer towards your thighs. 2 more breaths. And all together, taking a deep inhale. And exhaling, slowly stacking one vertebra at a time to come all the way up. Awesome. And bending your knees in front of you, coming more towards the front of your mat here. We'll do a little bit more core before reclining onto our mat. So I will be counting down from 10 to lower. But don't lower all the way down, just about where you're about to fall. And then holding your core, we'll first hold for 5 seconds, then 7 seconds, and then 10 seconds before lowering onto your mat. Every time we will come back up. So you really gotta engage this core. So feet can be hip distance apart, mat distance apart, low onto your mat, wherever or however it feels good for you. So arms are extending in front of you, back is as straight as possible, and core is engaged. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. 10, 9. Really stacking that gut and core. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lowering all the way down onto your mat. Perhaps windshield wiper your knees from side to side, or moving however feels good. Awesome, you did it. Great. And now bringing your knees back to center. Knees are bent. And then keeping that left knee bent and bringing your right ankle just underneath your left knee. Foot is flexed, toes are pointing towards your shin. With your right hand, touching your right thigh away from you. And again, if you're feeling enough sensation behind your right thigh or the outer right thigh, you can stay here. If you need a bit more sensation, perhaps placing the hands behind your left hamstrings and drawing the left thigh closer to your chest. Now I invite you here to explore this posture, perhaps rolling more slightly on your right or left side, and see how by changing the angles, it might change the stretch. We'll stay here for about 10 breaths. And after 10 breaths or so, unraveling. And this time keeping the right knee bent and bringing the left ankle just underneath the right knee. Foot is flexed, toes are pointing towards your shin. With your left hand pushing your left thigh away from you. And again, you can choose to stay here if this is enough sensation in the outer left hip, left thigh. If you need a bit more, placing your hands behind your right hamstrings and drawing the right thigh closer to your chest. So again, here exploring on this side, maybe rolling more onto your right or left side. You're just moving and see how that may change the stretch. Keeping your shoulders nice and heavy into your mat. Now this is an excellent stretch if you have any sciatica issues on one or the other side. You may want to do that stretch every day if you do have any sciatica issues. And again, staying here for about 10 breaths or so. And after your 10 breath or so, slowly unraveling. Perhaps windshield wiper your knees from side to side a couple of times, as slow or as fast as you like. And then coming back to center, bringing your arms to a T shape on either side of you. And then stacking your knees over top of your hips. Shins are parallel to your mat. And letting those knees fall onto your right side. Now here, stacking hips, stacking knees. Gaze can come over towards your left hand. If it's okay on your neck, to maintain the rotation of your spine from your tailbone to the base of your skull here. If you're feeling that top left leg is lifting, perhaps placing your right hand on top of your left leg. And if there's a different leg twist that you would like to take, maybe tangled roots or so, you're more than welcome to take that different twist. Staying here for about 10 breaths again. On every inhale, feeling the left side of your ribcage expand. And on every exhale, trying while the ribcage compress to lower or bringing your left shoulder closer to your mat. Just to move just a bit deeper into your twist. And after your 10th breath or so, gaze come back to center and slowly lifting your left knee and leg up, following by the right knee and leg to come back to center, and then letting those knees fall towards the left side this time. Again, stacking knees, stacking hips, and perhaps gaze can come towards your right hand if that's okay on your neck. And again, if you're feeling that right leg lifting up, placing the left hand over top to bring it down. And again, on every inhale, feeling this on the right side of your ribcage expand. And on every exhale, as it compresses, trying to bring that right shoulder towards your mat 1 millimeter more. Just trying to deepen your twist here. And staying here for about 10 breaths. And after your 10th breath or so, gaze come back to center. Slowly lifting that right knee and leg back up, followed by the left knee and left leg up. Bring the sole of your feet together and slowly lowering those feet towards the mat, letting those knees fall nice and right here into a reclined butterfly. Now if this is uncomfortable for you, you can make fists with your hands and place them to the outside edge of your thighs. Or option, if you have blocks or books and you need support, to place them underneath your thighs here. Totally up to you. Otherwise, hands can come onto your belly, onto your sides, overhead, or you can make little movements with your arms to find the perfect position for them and your shoulders. We'll stay here for about 10 breaths again. And taking your time here to bring your mind back to your breath and counting maybe your breath. And take the time to slow down your practice. Perhaps softly closing your eyes or softening your gaze. And then after your 10 breath or so, with the help of your hands, bringing your thighs and knees slowly back up, walking your feet about mat distance apart, and slowly windshield wiper your knees from side to side a couple of times. And once you are ready to move to your final Shavasana, slowly extending one leg after the other onto your mat. I will be sitting up to guide you guys. But feet are about mat distance apart or wider, and naturally letting those feet fall onto their sides. Your palms and arms are facing the skies onto your sides or slightly away. And again, if this position doesn't feel comfortable for your lower back or any other reason, try to bend your knees, Plant the sole of your feet mat distance apart and let your knees fall into center, tenting. Or perhaps you would like to lay in a fetal position onto your right or left side. This is completely up to you. Remember that this is your practice, so it's important that you listen to the cues of your body and you take whatever position feels the best for you. But once you have found that perfect, comfortable position, I invite you to softly close your eyes or to soften your gaze if you feel comfortable to do so. And like at the beginning of a class, letting your thoughts float around you. Contemplate them, but allow them to drift away, not holding on to them. Let's try to stay in our little bubble, away from the busy outside world, just a bit longer. If you had an intention today for your practice, you can now let it go. If you have dedicated your practice to a loved one, maybe repeating the name of that person 3 times and then letting it go. We are going to take 3 deep breaths, deep belly breaths, to release our practice and releasing the breathing technique that you might have had during this class. So taking a deep inhale through the nose and filling that belly with air, and exhaling, let it go. Good. One more time, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling that belly with air, and exhaling, let it go. Good, one last time, perhaps making it your strongest breath so far. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling that belly with air, and exhaling, sigh it out. And slowly letting your natural breath to come back. And I invite you to take a mental scan of your body. Try to relax and release each part of it. Relaxing your toes, the top of your feet and the sole of your feet. Relaxing your ankles, your shins and your calves. Circle your knees. Relaxing your thighs, and your hamstrings are softened and relaxed. Relaxing your glutes, your hips, and your pelvis. Relaxing the muscles of your lower back. And your abdomen and core is softened with each breath that you take. Relaxing the muscles of your mid-back, your rib cage, and the area of your heart. Relaxing your fingers, the top of your hands and the palms of your hands. Relaxing your wrists, your forearms and your elbows. Relaxing your biceps and triceps. Relaxing your shoulders as you soften them, allowing them to fall heavy onto your mat. Relaxing the muscles of your upper back, your chest, and your neck. And then softening the muscles of your face, softening your eyes and eyelids, and relaxing that space in between your eyebrows. Finally, relaxing the muscles of your jaw by slightly opening your mouth. Knowing that there is absolutely no rush today. I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana and enjoying that posture for as long as you need to and for as long as you would like to. But once you are ready to come out of your Shavasana and out of your posture, please do so slowly, as a sign of respect towards your body and yourself. Thank you so much for stepping up on your mat and practicing today. Thank you so much for following that class. My heart is full. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can always leave a message below the video and I will get back to you. From the bottom of my heart, I bow to each and every one of you. Namaste.